Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. I didn't know anything about this really until about a week ago. I didn't know the importance of April the 8th, but Bob got in touch with me, and you know a lot about it, and you've been down to Glastonbury and met with Alex Ling. Alex Ling was on with Sasha Stone last night. So yeah, April the 8th is what we're be talking about, but I'm going to let Bob explain the energy of the day and the build up to it and what else is coming before that. So thank you, Bob. Really looking forward to this.
Yeah, thanks, Jackie, for organising tonight. Much appreciated. So yeah, this is a bit of a special online meeting this evening. It's what we're going to be covering is talking about the solar eclipse, how important it is, the global hum event that Alex is organising, what other groups are doing to take part in this, and also what's going to be happening the week before on April the 1st in Glastonbury as like a pre-eclipse event. I'm pleased to welcome various people on the call tonight. So that would include people from positive living groups, spiritual church, conscious cafes. There's quite a few people that can't make it this evening that will be given the recording. So hopefully this will give them some great ideas as to how they may wish to get involved in this quite special event. So before I start, I just want to kind of, talk about what this is really about. For me, this is all about connecting and energy. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about my journey, because it very much mirrors what's happening now. Some people will know a bit about my journey, other people will not. So first of all, in the New Forest. Sorry?
Bob, I didn't even introduce you. I just wanted to say this is Bob Dibden, and I met Bob probably 2 years ago when we were serving the schools notice because of what they were doing. And Bob came along, looked like a lawyer, really. You were dressed so beautifully. Yeah, and so we were serving the schools because they were giving children something that the parents would not have agreed to probably. And so he was brave enough, along with Warren, to be serving the schools, and we went along to support. So yeah, that's the first introduction.
Yeah, and thanks Warren, who's on the call. Evening, Warren, for doing that. That took a huge amount of courage to lead that. So, you know, hats off to you. I regularly think about what you did. So so really, really well done.
Absolutely, yeah. So this is Bob, and from there you've come up the hill with us for the stand in the park, but also, you know, you've really got into energy lately. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Jackie. So this connecting thing really started for me in about October 2021, when governments were telling people not to connect, not to see their families, not to see their friends. And I just had this huge kind of inbuilt desire to connect to people as much as possible, connect to everything as much as possible. So it started with connecting with as many people as I could, both near to me in New Milton, in the New Forest, and also at Lyndhurst, and the community that formed from that. But I still had this deep desire to go a lot further, and I just thought I just need to connect to more groups. So going into 2022, around about sort of May, June time, I started to go to a lot of groups in the south and southwest of England. And I've just met some of the most amazing people. And yeah, and I was just really interested to see what other groups were doing, and kind of thinking what we were doing, and not really sure where any of it was going. And then as part of that, in the middle of 2022, I started to get into energy, and that started by going into the Orinoco Healing Pod. Now, some people may have heard of this or even been in it. Some people may have not heard of it, but essentially these are kind of like vials with different metals on tripods in a triangle, 3 of them, and it creates an energy field. And some people have all sorts of experiences in it, depending on their connections to everything. Now, I didn't have an experience, but I could really feel the energy field. And I didn't really think anything more of it. And then when I went to the West Country to see a few groups, I went to see Wells Cathedral. Thought I'd just go there, have a coffee, parked the car, and walked past a church called St Cuthbert's. And as soon as I was walking past it, this huge like wall of energy that's filling the whole ground just hit me, almost knocked me over. And I thought, wow, what is this? It was a very magical feeling. There were loads of dragonflies around, and I thought, what's going on? And I thought, clearly I'm now connected to energies, certainly sensitive to it. And then during the course of 2022, I went on a lot of walks in the New Forest with lots of the lovely people from the New Forest community. And it was wonderful. The weather was very good. It seems like a memory now, that kind of weather. And it really gave me a chance, and many others, to connect with each other, to just be in nature and not necessarily talk about the stuff that was going on, to connect at a deeper level and to connect with nature, the animals, the flowers, everything. And it just felt incredible. And at times I'd feel in a huge state of bliss. And I think it was, for me, it was just a chance, was just connecting with the land, with the air, with everything around me. And then as the year progressed, going into 2023, I started to have this feeling to go inwards, connect inwards, which was kind of like the opposite to like connecting outwards. But I thought, that's fine, let's see where this goes. But I still went to see lots of different groups and meetings and speakers, and just learning about so many different amazing things and meeting some incredible people. And part of that journey, I came across different energy things. So things like, a few people have seen this Polaroid. It's like it's a healing energy disc. And I've come across, it's helped so many people with their health. And I've come across different products as well that have helped people. And again, it just increased my curiosity about what is this energy thing? And maybe we have got the potential to heal ourselves and heal each other. And then also going towards the end of last year, I started to go into the sea. I live about 1 minute's drive from the sea, and I started to go in the sea, and to go in the sea, particularly when it's been cold over the winter, it just feels incredible. The colder it gets, the more excited I get. And just to be in the sea, surrounded by this living water that looks different every day you go in it, if I can get in it, because sometimes it's chucking down the rain, it's really, really windy, or the waves are too high and it's too dangerous to get in or get out. But when I can get in, particularly if the sun is out and it's coming into your eyes first thing in the morning, I would think of nothing else, and I would be in a complete state of bliss. So I'd kind of gone from connecting to people to connecting with the land, and then connecting with the water. And it certainly helped me on my journey with connecting with things. And that's kind of morphed more going into this year into intuition, a lot more synchronicity. And the synchronicity has been really full on since the 26th of February. I've had to journal now on a daily basis just to keep up with what's happening. And as part of that synchronicity over the last month, it's brought me to Glastonbury several times, and including going to this amazing talk that Dr. Alex did in Glastonbury on a Friday. And I was very fortunate to spend time with Alex a couple of days later over dinner, talking about all sorts of things. And what I liked about Alex, and also I had heard an interview that he did with an Australian radio station a few days before, but I really liked his groundedness, his knowledge about the living water, about energy, which was in sync with what I was learning, and his interest in history, real history, ancient history, and kind of almost partly from a scientific point of view. So he has this kind of all-round aspect, which I thought, do you know what? He just nails this. He nails this connection thing, this energy thing. So so yeah, that's why I kind of thought I need to help Alex and try and get this to the lots of people that I've been speaking to, because this really does resonate with me. So I think, let's have a look. Yeah, so one of the things I didn't realize about eclipses, and Alex will talk about this, is I didn't realize how powerful they were. I didn't realize they had a huge effect energetically. I just thought the sky goes dark for 5 minutes and gets a bit cold and birds go quiet, and I didn't think anything more of it. So, but what he says makes total sense to me. So I think just before I introduce Alex to talk about the eclipse and what's going to be happening with the hum event on the April the 8th, Jackie, did you just want to show that video? It's about 2 minutes 23. It's a bit of a trailer, a bit of a build up to what's going to be happening on the 8th. I know that the sound is not working, but people will be able to get a feel for what this event is about.
Lovely.
I hope you take these pictures.
Thanks for showing that, Jackie. So that clip is certainly something that we're going to be using as a build up on the actual night before the hum. But so Alex, welcome. If you'd like to tell us a bit about the eclipse, what you're doing on April the 8th, and about the hum, and hopefully a few minutes to talk a bit about your aquan water that you've created.
Yes, hi Bob. Good to see
Hi.
you. Yes, so yeah, it's the 8th of the 4th, which is which many people refer as one of the most important days in human history. I think that this is an opportunity for us as humans to reconnect and reclaim our planet, our Mother Earth, and to also have this this connection, which we kind of lost a little bit over the last few hundred years, especially with the invention of electricity and all the devices which we are surrounding ourselves with. So we are living within this artificial matrix, which is, of course, very much used by everybody, including myself. But I think we are compromising quite a lot our connection to nature. And I see that very often in young people who are just totally engulfed in their devices, and they don't pay any attention anymore to nature. So not all of them, but quite a number of them. So I think it is quite important to reinstate that connection, which we lost a little bit. So from my research, which carried me through all sorts of different areas, from megalithic stones to the frequencies, how to communicate with stones, and to the connection from the cosmos, the water, of course, on this planet, and the water which is described by our ancestors as the cosmic ocean, which carries all the kind of the blueprint of creation. There's this whole wide connection which connects every single element which is surrounding us, and which is of interest, of course, in my research, like the megalithic sites, the pyramids, all the kind of energy fields which surrounding this planet, the magnetic fields, everything really which has to do with energies and frequencies is connected within that. So just to very briefly explain why this eclipse is so important, is that in the moment of the totality, the free electrons which are in the ionosphere are spacing out and creating a kind of window opportunity for us to connect to the real matrix, which is the Earth. So, and that moment is 4 minutes 28 seconds, 0.1. So, and the primordial sound which will assist us to do that is a hum. So just very briefly to inform people what it's about. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
And what's your plans? Because you're going to Mexico, aren't you?
I'm going to Mexico, yes, and that's on the 5th. I'm leaving on the 5th, and we go with a small group, friends of mine. There's a Riccardo, who is an Italian scientist. He's a good friend of mine and assisted me so far in all our research to do with water. Of course, we also taking aquan with us, which is a big part of the whole journey. And for everybody who doesn't know what aquan is structured water, which we structuring, and we using magnetic fields and a device which is based on Victor Schauberger to restructure water, because water very often, when we use, for example, tap water, which we shouldn't for consumption, as drinking water, it is not in its natural form or in its natural structure. So meaning it's very often stressed, and it can actually be harmful to us in a way that it doesn't actually hydrate us on a cellular level, definitely not. So if water is structured and it comes from a spring and you drink it directly from a spring, then you have living water, structured water. And that hydrates us on a completely different level, on a cellular level. And so instead of drinking 2 or 3 liters, maybe even 4 liters of water, which is not structured correctly, you only need about 750 ml, and that is perfectly enough to hydrate your system, to your body on a cellular level. So, and also if you have good quality water, which is structured, you are eliminating the possibility of many diseases and many possibilities of inflammation in your system. You're reducing the risk of cancer and many other problems. So in my research, and to explain, my background is medical. So I was trained as a GP and then went into functional medicine. And from there, I went into astrophysics and also into archaeology. So I wanted just to know as much as possible about energies in general and how we as humans can be in a more healthier environment to avoid not just any illnesses, but also from a spiritual level, how we can evolve as humans hand in hand with all the energies around us, because all the tools have been given to us many thousands of years ago, and just being basically withheld by those who didn't wanted us to be the true beings as we really are. So we all creators, and we all can, we have the most amazing abilities. So, and through history that has been taken away from us purposely. And so that's part of what this is all about. This is why the eclipse is so important. And aquan has also, is not just structured water, it also contains frankincense, myrrh, and monoatomic gold. The gold is created as a bridging tool between the two. And not only that, you have enormous benefits on a physical level, but also on a spiritual level. It's quite an amazing tool to assist in your spiritual development. It opens up areas in your brain which are purposely shut down by, for example, when you take paracetamol, then the process of accessing the ability to self-heal is very minimal. So by opening up these kind of areas who assist us naturally to self-heal, that is, for example, the tool which I use is myrrh. And myrrh is an incredible supplement as such. So by combining those three, we could actually build a bridge also to our unconscious, subconscious, and conscious level. And that, again, will assist us in our evolvement as humans and going back to the blueprint, which is all within us, to access that again.
And certainly when I've tasted the aquan, for me, I can sense the energy in it. And when I'm drinking it, my body feels like it absorbs it really well. So certainly we'll be drinking some of it before the hum to add to that energy experience. Alex, can you please explain why are eclipses important and what's special about this one?
Can I just ask before you say that, I'm so sorry, but how easy is it to get the aquan water?
Okay, at the moment we have a little bit of hold up thanks to Pam. So
I heard.
Thanks to Pam, yes. So many people have accessed our website, and basically we are sold out at the moment. So we're creating a new product stock, and that will be available just within the next 2 or 3 days again. So everybody who's out there waiting for it, please be patient. We are just doing our very best to keep up with everything.
So that's on your website, is it, Alex?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, we'll find out where that is in a minute then. Thank you.
Yes, so Alex, tell us about why eclipses are important energetically, and why is this one really important? Okay,
in general, the eclipse was quite an important event, especially in ancient times. Some civilizations saw it as a bad omen, others looked at it as a rebirth between, for example, in Mexico, it's more seen as the connection between life and death, or death and rebirth. And so every culture has its own take on it. However, there was something which connects kind of all the cultures pretty much simultaneously, which I found in a text which goes back in official text which came from Sumerian times, about 800 BC. And the title of it is the Substitute King, which I talked about in one of my talks. And it's to do with the position which the kings or the royals at the time had, especially in Sumerian times or Babylonian times. They were, of course, very much in control, and humans in that time were already quite deeply enslaved to their system and been used to their needs. So their biggest worry was that when the solar eclipse would occur, that the humanity would overrule them and would basically connect to each other again on a conscious level, and then don't see the reason why they should be directed or controlled in the first place. So they would reconnect with Mother Earth, literally. So, and this kind of text is quite interesting because it has been withheld from us for a very long time by certain families of the elites who have stolen this text. And so in this text, it talks from the substitute king, which means that they would have to replace the king and the queen for just a rough time of either 40 to 100 days before and after the eclipse, just to be absolutely sure that nothing could happen to them. And within that time of the eclipse, of the totality, that's when the window can occur. That's when the window opens, a portal or window where we as humans can connect, and we can connect on a completely different conscious level. So, and their knowledge about that was quite profound. And so in that time, they would just put someone else in their shoes, in their position, and afterwards they would kill these people off and take their place again when it was safe to do so. And this kind of tradition was through what was existing through thousands and thousands of years from all different backgrounds. So which is quite interesting if you look at what is happening at the moment in the royal family. So there's a lot of absence and a lot of disappearance. So makes you wonder why.
Yes, that doesn't seem like a coincidence, does it?
Yes, and I think many people are very much aware of it. Plus, I think also that there are certain elements in time, especially when this specific eclipse, which also coincides with the solar maximum and with the new moon as well. So, and many other astrological kind of aspects. But mainly it is really important that there is a solar maximum, which again, when we look at the ionosphere and the electrons, even without the maximum, they're spacing out quite a lot already. But with those two other elements in place, it's almost coming to the point where the artificial matrix is in non-existence, which means that it can affect our radio signals, the GPS signals, the satellite signals, everything. There's a very high possibility that it doesn't work at all. So if it happens or not, we don't know, because it would have to coincide with that specific moment in time. But everything seemed to point out towards it. There are even texts going back many thousands of years ago, which point out to that specific eclipse. And I think also amongst humans, there's this kind of excitement. There's something happening, and people are waking up much faster, even from areas where I'm very, very surprised to see so many people coming on board and joining forces and just saying this is enough. We don't want to be controlled anymore in this way. We had enough of the suffering. We want to have a positive future. We want to have hope, and we want to be united. We had enough kind of separation processes, that they have divided us over the last few years, especially starting from Brexit. And, I think these kind of deep wounds in humanity need to be healed, and we need to all join together. And I think this is what's happening right now.
Yeah, it certainly feels like it, Alex. And so what's the idea behind the hum?
Okay, the hum, yes. The hum is, it kind of more or less coincidental kind of fallen into my research because I was looking for a specific sound. And I looked at all sorts of different sounds. But through the research and through the ancient text, I came across, of course, some of the cultures in Turkey who would worship the bees, and so other cultures, of course, many other cultures as well. And I investigated the sound of the hum in connection with the bees. That was the first kind of link I had. And then, of course, just recently, we had in science this the first time that we could have a sound, an audible sound, which came from the gravitational waves out of space, which is from way back in the beginning when the universe was being created. So this creational sound or primordial sound is on the note of C4. And C4 also coincides with the bees, and it also coincides with water. It coincides also with the beach, with the waves of the oceans crashing on the sand on the beach. There's a lot of simultaneous sounds, similar sounds, which hold exactly the same note. Plus, it is the sound which coincides with the root chakra, and the root chakra again is connecting us to Earth. So it's like it makes all sense. And when we started to use, because many people ask us, why is it not the Om and why is it the hum? What's the difference? And the difference is that the hum is a sound which goes inside, and it really kind of deeply connects us on a very deep spiritual level with the Earth. It's not a sound which goes out, it goes inside, deeply inside, and it connects us all to each other. And I think that's one of the strongest experiences which I had, for example, in the town hall in Glastonbury, where we hummed with so many people, over 100 people took part in it. And it was just the most emotional experience. And it was incredible how everybody, even without a specific note, would just hold the same resonance. And that's the other thing. We all can hum, we all know exactly, because we all have different harmonics, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you can sing, it doesn't matter if you pitch perfect. Everybody can hum. And it's when we do this together in a group, it seems to fuse together to this amazing frequency in the sound, which carries the energy. And I think that's the key to it all. And that's why so many people felt it's so simple. I don't have to learn anything really. I just have to open up and put intention into it. And it's just something everybody can do wherever you are. So we can join with some groups. That's absolutely up to everybody to do so. Or we just sit in our home and do it from there, or with our partners or families. Just everybody can do it. And we don't have to be that serious about it. We just can have some fun with it as well. Just put some really good energy, positive energy into it. And that's all what's requested.
And Alex, most people will be doing this at exactly the same time, which will be 7:17 UK time for 4 minutes and 28.1 seconds. But I think you said earlier today, people can still do the hum after the eclipse, and it will still can have an effect.
Absolutely, and I mean we're starting already to do it anyway. So because just before and after the time, I think it's quite important that we are spreading the sound already, so it carries as long as possible. But especially 40 days after and up to a year, and some people even say it should be going into 2026. So I think it will grow with the changes which are going to occur. So, and I think that's something which will resonate, especially with the eclipse, when the eclipse is happening for the 4-minute 28.1. It will definitely be for another 15 days that the frequency of the eclipse is within our Earth field, and so resonates with the energies of the Earth and beyond, because that's just like a measurable kind of aspect, but it will stay for much, much longer, especially if people are jointly fueling or creating this amazing energy which goes into it as well. So, and God knows what's going to happen. So, I mean, what do we have to lose? We just have to try and make a change, and maybe that's exactly the tool we can use.
So by everyone doing the hum, it kind of helps to raise the frequency, the level of consciousness on Earth, in addition to what's happening with the sun, I guess.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's what I believe, and not just me. I mean, there's a lot of people. I had this talk yesterday on the show with Sasha Stone, and we. I've been talking to quite a number of indigenous people as well, and there seemed to be this understanding that definitely there's a joint effort now, and everybody's pulling together to make a change.
Fantastic. So should we talk a little bit about what some of the groups are doing? So in Lyndhurst, in the New Forest, we're going to be getting together in the village hall. We're going to be playing one of the videos, because Alex will talk about it in a moment, but you're going to be videoing what you're going to be doing at Glastonbury the week before as a pre-eclipse event, to kind of, as a bit of a build-up. We'll then be showing the 2.5-minute video that we showed earlier as a countdown, and then be doing the hum. Possibly might get someone, I think you mentioned earlier, might get someone to play the flute or something, just some kind of to play the note, just to kind of to start things off, just kind of get it started really. But I know other groups have spoken to, so I think Southbourne are going to be meeting on the beach. Other groups are looking to either meet on the beach, I think, or in halls. Becky, hi Becky from Salisbury. I think you're looking to get a few of you to go up to Old Sarum. So yeah, I think different groups are looking to see what they want to do. Of course, people can just do it, from home or in their car or on their own, walking the dog or what have you. But certainly for me, experiencing the hum at Glastonbury with other people, it did feel really, really powerful. This kind of hum all around, and afterwards felt really, really, really connected with everyone, and it was a real sense of connection and peace and harmony. It was really quite special. So that's why I'm excited about doing a live event. I know some people would prefer to do things on their own, maybe because of different people's energies and things. But for me, I really liked sharing it.
Yes, I agree. I mean, many people who went to Glastonbury and experienced that, it was such a joy to see how people were hugging each other, and they were just everybody was on the same page. They all understood completely what it was all about. They could feel it deep inside, that there is a change coming, and that this was quite a useful tool to have, which we naturally have anyway. So, and it was just really beautiful to see that connection growing between all the people. We have hundreds of different networks who are going to join this specific event as well. So as I said, either they do their own thing in their groups, or they do it at home in a smaller group, maybe 5-10 people, and some other things are happening on a larger scale where a few hundred come together. So yes, we have a website which is connected to the hum. And on this specific website, we give the possibility that people can connect to each other and organize also their own events. So it's just a platform where people can connect. You do have to sign up for it, and the reason for that is that is for security reasons, and also we don't want to be infiltrated by people who are trying to stop this beautiful event. So once you've done that, you can connect to all the different platforms, which are American platforms, European, Mexican, all sorts of different areas. and then people can just chat away and organize their own hum event.
And that's on hum2024.com, isn't it?
That's right. Yes, yes. And there will be much more information in the next few days coming. Also, people asking us about different time zones and when the eclipse is happening. So that was quite a bit of task to figure out when it's all happening. But we have beautiful friends who, for example, Medine in Australia, who is organizing some of the events as well. And she has kindly worked out all the different times for America and for Australia. So there will be a lot more information coming up in the next 2 or 3 days.
Fantastic. And we just saw a flyer a minute ago that you put up, Jackie, to do with the Glastonbury event on the 1st of April, on the bank holiday Monday evening.
Yes.
Tell us about what that's going to be about.
Okay, so yeah, this event is going to be quite unique. So there's a lot of new information coming into that event as well. For example, the connection I made with the indigenous people in Mexico. They're called Irtalis. So they're the people, Lagunero people. So which are people who lived in Mapimi and still are, some of the descendants. And they're connected to the folklore of the water people or lake people, who are in folklore were half human, half fish, and the whole area of the zone of silence, where the main duration, the longest duration of the eclipse is going to occur. This specific area is quite unique in itself. So not only that it has a huge magnetic field, so your compass keeps spinning in the area. Unfortunately, we are not able, possibly we will try, we going to take a lot of different equipment with us to see if we can connect to a satellite, if it works. It depends on what is going to happen on that day, because if the grid, the communication grid is going down, then we probably not going to get any message out. But we're going to record for sure everything which is going to happen in the zone. So we're going to climb a mountain which is pretty much almost in the middle of the zone, and it's 1,440 meter high. It's quite a hike. And this particular mountain has quite an unusual shape. It looks like a big navel. And so the whole area is very strange, because you get this magnetic field and it influences the plant life and the animal life within that zone. So much so that there is actually a laboratory which is studying these kind of effects of the magnetic field on plants and animals. I don't know if there's anybody there, because a friend of mine from Holland did a long trip to the zone just a few months ago, and she said it looks like it's just like a prop because there's nobody there. It looks like it's completely empty. But yeah, so it's a very strange area, totally surrounded by all sorts of weird and wonderful conspiracies, from UFO sightings, which have been reported there in the area, to alien kind of Lumerian people who kind of talk to local people and all sorts of different things, to a disappearance of some people, a portal. There's apparently a cave which holds the hum as well, so I've been told. So we're going to investigate that as well. There's this amazing sound within the cave system. So yes, and there's still hot springs under the surface of the desert. So there's a huge water table, and that would explain the connection to the water people, to the lake people. So yes, there's a lot of new information which I'm going to talk to about on the 1st of April in Glastonbury. Plus, we're going to have, of course, a super hum in the church, the Benedict Church, which has enormous acoustics, beautiful acoustics. So, and we're going to record it. But more so, what we're going to do is we are going to have an experiment with the water. So we're going to have water involved in it, and we are recording the different patterns with a special camera while we're humming and showing the changes within the water.
Sounds like a really interesting event, Alex. So, although I will let people know that St Benedict's Hall has a maximum capacity of 100 people, so I know they're going to try and fit as many people that they can on the floor. So if people do want to go and they can't get a chair, then they may want to bring a cushion or pillow to sit on.
That's right, exactly. So yes, we couldn't get any bigger place, but I think because of where it is, the energy in the church, some churches can feel a little bit odd, but this one has beautiful energies, and it feels just very inviting. Plus the pillars are spaced out in a different way, so it gives like a whole area in the middle and the center, which is uninterrupted, so that we can actually form a circle and do the hum.
Can I just say, we've got a few questions come up now. Do you think it would be more powerful to hum outside, Alex?
To be honest, yes, I do believe so. I hope that the weather is kind to all of us. And yes, I think it is a good thing to just feel the earth. Many people suggest, oh, we should maybe take our shoes off and have the connection to the ground. I think that's a good idea. And if you happen to have any kind of water source in your area, then please go to this spring or to some, even if it is the ocean, just try and be close to water as well. So that would be amazing.
That was the next question. Near water, even better. And then what about the ley lines? Would that be beneficial?
The ley lines are beneficial, but this sound carries really. And I do believe that, you know, sounds are enormous carriers. So I don't think it is absolutely necessary that we're standing on a ley line. I think that Mother Earth is quite capable to absorb the energies and do something useful with it without us being exactly on the ley line. If you happen to be there, great, that's fantastic. But if not, it really doesn't matter.
That's the intention, isn't it?
Exactly.
Sounds amazing. Yeah, so we're all gathering in Lyndhurst in the New Forest. You'll say anyway, Bob, but that's the hope is people join in tonight might want to get their own groups up together. I know AJ's going to be doing one online if people want to join his Zoom online. A gathering is probably more powerful, do you think?
I wouldn't say it's more powerful. I think, again, it depends on everybody's intention. And I think one person can be just as important as 100 people together, not important, the same powerful.
Yes. Oh, wonderful, yes.
Exactly. So I don't think it matters really. I think, yes, some people maybe need the company, you know, and feel that it's just a more energetic event. But to be honest, I think even sitting on your own at home, just doing it on the quiet, I think could be just as important.
Brilliant. And someone's saying, can we do a practice hum all together tonight?
Absolutely. Yes, why not?
So if everyone wanted to unmute, well, you say, Bob, when we're finishing, but yeah, we could just end with that, couldn't we? We
could do that, yes.
Yeah, sounds like a great idea, yeah. Has anyone got any more questions?
He did ask about where he's going to be in Spain, but as I think it's Joel has said, just check the hum2024.com and that will give you the times and the zones visible.
I think also if anyone in any of the communities that I'm associated with, if anyone wants to organise an event and wants more information, they can reach out to me. There is a Telegram group that Alex has set up, a private group called Hum 2024 that I can add people to, and also I'll forward that to you, Jackie. So if any of your other community group leaders want to be able to organise something, we can get them added to the Telegram group.
Oh, marvellous, that's lovely. And if you're looking at the chat box, how does the 7:17 time fit with the partial eclipse here? It is right in the middle of it.
Also, if I may just say, there is quite a large event which is going to happen on the 8th of April on the near the Glastonbury Tor, which is just on the foot of the Glastonbury Tor in this beautiful orchard. Sorry, and my other half is sorry, she has a bit of cold at the moment. And she's creating the most beautiful event together with Jana and some other local people. And everybody can join. Just please come there. There's enough space for 200 to 500 people. So just if you happen to be in the area, just come and join.
When is that, on the 8th?
That's on the 8th, yes.
And then we've got another question here. Can dousing over drinking water restructure it, do you think?
No.
Right. Okay. If you will be in the direct path of the eclipse and near a great lake as well, is it a stronger energy? Is the energy stronger?
Sorry, when you do the hum, sorry, I couldn't get it.
Yeah. So if you will be in the direct path of the eclipse and near a great lake as well, is the energy stronger?
Well, I don't think that it makes, again, I don't think it matters so long you're in the path anyway, or anywhere around the world. I think it's just in general the energies which are changing on a global, in a global way. And the matrix is changing with our intention. So, and I think that's what it's all about.
It's about humans uniting.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, it's about the humans uniting. But if you happen to be everybody, there's no guideline, and that's the point which I'm always making. There's not a specific guideline. We don't want people to also be depending on this is what you have to do, A, B, C, D. Follow your intuition.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah, and like you said, make it fun.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, thanks, Jackie. Thanks, Alex. And thank you everyone for joining us tonight, if that's the end of the questions. So I think, yeah, we may as well wrap up then and do a hum for a minute.
Yes, let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah, so if you'd like to unmute everyone, and if you can start us off, Alex. Wonderful. Thank you, everyone. So that just gives you an idea of what we'll be doing on the day. But it's literally, you go into tune. I do believe that once everyone starts, you go into a sort of get the same tune. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Alex.
Thank you for having me.
And
Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Jackie. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
I
have texted you, Alex. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks. Bye.